happy day to all of you, my dear children. Greetings from Icon School of Excellence. I am Alekia, your teacher. I am here to teach you all mathematics for grade 5. I wish all of you are safe, doing good, and ready to learn. Today, I am bringing you all an interesting topic. Before we begin our class, let us do a small activity. So, what is this, children? What is that which you are seeing on the screen? Yes, right. So this is an apple. So this is one complete apple. If I have to call this, no, I would call it as a one apple, right? So the same apple, I am cutting it into two equal pieces now. So I am cutting it into two equal pieces, and how would I call each piece of this apple as? Yes, I would call it as half apple, right? Half apple. Yes. Next, what happened? I have cut the same apple into three equal parts. Yes, then what would I call each piece of this apple as? Here we have it out, right? Yes. So the same apple I have cut into four equal parts now. So what I have done, I have cut it into four equal parts. Then what would I call each piece of this apple as? So this we will learn in our class. Okay. Next, here is the pizza. Okay. So if I cut this pizza into two equal halves, and what would I call this this part of pizza as? Is that half pizza, isn't it? Yes, good. So then what would I call this part of pizza as? I cannot call it as a half pizza because it is more than half. And I cannot call it as one complete pizza because it is not complete, isn't it? Yes. Now, see, I have a complete bottle here, water bottle here, and then here a little amount of water is taken away from bottle, and I don't know what to call this portion of water which is in bottle, right? I need a number. Yes, here also, yes, I can now say that I have half bottle. It is a half filled water bottle, right? Yes. See, again now I have little water, but I don't know what to call this, this portion of water as. We need a number which to refer this portion of water in the bottle, right? So now, can you guess our today's concept? Any idea on what we are going to discuss today? Yes, it is about fractions. So these are the points which we are going to brief today. You have already learned fractions in your grade 4. This is a quick revision of that, right? What are fractions? Need of fractions, parts of fractions, example, types of fractions. What are the different types of fractions we have? Proper and improper, like and unlike fractions, equivalent fractions. Then coming to addition and subtraction of fractions. These are the key points which we are going to discuss today. Okay. Next, what are fractions? What do you mean by fraction actually? So, fraction is a number that can represent a part of whole. Whole means one complete thing you have. Out of that, you are referring to one part of that. Okay, one portion of that. For doing that, we need a fraction. Okay. If an object is divided into equal parts, remember children, I have told you when I am explaining you the example of apple, I was telling you that apple is divided into equal parts, right? So we can write a fraction for any part if the whole is divided into only equal parts. If the whole is divided into unequal parts, we cannot write fraction for that. Okay, so we can write fractions only for the part of the whole when the whole is divided into equal parts. Then each part is called as a fraction. See here, this is one complete whole now. So this complete whole is divided into two equal halves, right? So for this part I can write a fraction, and for this part I can write a fraction now. And the same whole, here it is divided into three equal parts where I can write fraction for each part of this, as they are divided into equal parts. Here the same whole is divided into four equal parts, so I can write fraction for each part of this. Similarly, here the whole is divided into 5 equal parts, here it is divided into 6 equal parts, and here it is divided into 10 equal parts. In each of these pictures, the whole or one complete circle is divided into equal parts. The number of parts is different from each of these. Okay, the common point here is they are divided equally. Okay, they are divided into equal parts. That is a point which you have to remember with fractions. Next, why do we need fractions actually? So we have learned about natural numbers. We have learned about what do you say, whole numbers. Now, why do we need fractions actually? So suppose I have an example here. See, this is very funny. So here I have one complete cake. Okay, I felt very hungry and then I started eating it. After eating a portion of it, I felt like, enough. Okay, I don't want to eat this now. I'm full. Okay, then if you ask me that how much cake did you eat, I cannot say I did not eat anything or zero, right? Because I ate a portion of it, right? A portion of it I ate already, and I can neither say that I have eaten one complete cake, right? Because some portion of cake is still left over here. So for referring, for referring this kind of thing, which is not complete, which is part of whole, where we are going to refer a part of whole, we need a special types of numbers. Those are fractions. Next, parts of fractions. So let us see what are the parts of fractions. Okay, to write a fraction as a number, we need to know the following two facts. So if you want to write a fraction, you need to know two facts. One is how many equal parts is the whole divided into. So there is a whole and one means one complete thing. Okay, into how many equal parts that whole is divided into, that we should know. And this forms the denominator. So what forms the denominator? This is denominator. So this is numerator and this is denominator, and these are the two parts which forms a fraction. Okay, how do you form denominator? How many parts, equal parts, the whole is divided into. Now take this example. The whole is divided into, one complete circle is divided into 5 equal parts, and that makes my denominator. And how many parts out of whole are to be considered? So how many parts out of whole you are considering? Now if I want to write a fraction for this pink colored portion, so how many parts of whole is colored now? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 parts out of 5 complete parts are colored, right? So the fraction for shaded portion now is 4 by 5, where 4 is the numerator and then 5 is the denominator. So denominator always refers how many parts, into how many parts the whole is divided into. That gives you the number in denominator. And how many parts you are considering or referring to gives your numerator. Okay, clear children? So this is how we will be writing a fraction. See the second example here. Yes, see how many parts the whole is divided into? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So my denominator will be 6. And how many parts out of whole we are referring to? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4. So 4 by 6 is the fraction for this shaded portion. Similarly, take this example. Into how many parts of whole is divided into now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? So 8 parts the whole is divided into, and so 8 comes to my denominator. And how many parts I am referring to? So what is the how many parts of this whole are shaded? So count 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 parts are shaded. So that forms my numerator. So fraction for the shaded portion is 4 by 8. Okay. Okay. See, I was asking you one example, right, in the beginning of the class. What is a fraction for this part of pizza? Here I have an answer for this. See, how much pizza do we have below? So how much pizza? What is a fraction which we can represent this pizza, this part of pizza? The circle is our whole. So one complete circle makes a whole. If we divide the whole into 4 congruent or equal pieces, as I told you, we can write fractions only if they are divided into equal parts. So this pizza has been divided into 4 equal parts. So the denominator would be, I told you, right, how many ever equal parts a whole is divided into, that forms our denominator. We can see that we have 3 pieces of pizza, right? We have 3 pieces of pizza left over here. So we are referring to the leftover pizza here. So we are referring to pizza, number of pieces of pizza which are left over. So our numerator will be 3, and the fraction which is used to represent this part of pizza is 3 by 4. So let's revise the concepts which we have discussed now. Okay. See, fraction for shaded portion. Now you are going to write the fraction for shaded portion. For writing the fraction first, what would you do? You have to count the number of parts the whole is divided into. Here the whole is divided into how many parts? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So the complete this rectangle is divided into 12 parts. So 12 would be my denominator, and out of which I am referring to, see the word shaded. So you will be referring to shaded parts, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 is the required number which I am going to refer. So 5 would be my denominator and 12 would be my 5 would be my numerator and 12 would be my denominator. Very good. So next, fraction for unshaded portion. So how many parts out of whole are unshaded here? Okay, the same way the number of parts remains same, that is 12, right? This rectangle is divided into 12 equal parts. So denominator remains same, but numerator, here they are asking you to write the fraction for unshaded portion. So you count the parts which are not shaded. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the fraction for unshaded portion is now 7 by 12. Very good. Similarly, fraction for shaded portion. So now see, if I have to write the fraction for shaded portion, then I should know how many equal parts the whole is divided into. So it is divided into 4 equal parts. So my denominator is 4. And then numerator, as I am referring to shaded portion, my numerator would be 1, 2 and 3. So it is 3 by 4. See, and again, fraction for unshaded portion. What is the fraction for unshaded portion? One part out of 4 parts is not shaded, right? So what is the fraction for unshaded portion now? 1 by 4. Good. Now coming to types of fractions. What are the different types of fractions we have? We have proper and improper fractions, proper fractions and improper fractions, like fractions and unlike fractions, equivalent fractions. Okay, these are the types of fractions which we have learned in our previous class. Let us briefly see about these fractions. Okay. Next, proper fractions. What are proper fractions? A fraction in which numerator is less than the denominator is called as a proper fraction. You take any fraction and you observe numerator and you observe denominator. If numerator is less than denominator, then we call that fraction as a proper fraction. What is a proper fraction? A proper fraction is a fraction whose numerator is less than denominator. So here are few examples. 2 by 3. So here 2 is the numerator and 3 is the denominator, and 2 is less than 3, and so I can call this fraction as a proper fraction. 1 by 5. Here again 1 is less than 5, and so I can call this as a proper fraction. 3 by 8, where 3 is numerator and 8 is denominator, and 3 is less than 8, so I can call this as a proper fraction. Coming to improper fractions. A fraction in which the numerator is greater than or equal to denominator is called as improper fraction. See here, greater than or equal to. Okay. So now see, what is a improper fraction? You just the same, it is quite reverse to proper fractions. You observe the numerator and observe the denominator. If you find numerator greater than the denominator, then we call greater than or equal to the denominator, then we call that fraction as improper fraction. See 3 by 2. Here 3 is the numerator and 2 is the denominator. And 3 is greater than 2, isn't it? So we call this fraction as improper fraction. 4 by 4. Here numerator and denominator are equal. But even though they are equal, we call them as improper fractions. And 7 by 5, similarly, 7 is greater than 5. Numerator is greater than denominator. So we call this fraction as improper fraction. Next, coming to like fractions and unlike fractions. What are like fractions and what are unlike fractions? The like fractions, the denominators of the fractions are same. See, if you see these examples, 1 by 5, 8 by 5, 3 by 5, 4 by 5. So in all these fractions, the denominator is same. See, 5, 5, 5, 5. So such fractions whose denominators are same are called as like fractions. Okay. What are unlike fractions? Unlike fractions are the fractions whose denominators are different. You see this example, 5 by 4, 5 by 1, 5 by 8, 5 by 3. In all these fractions, the denominators are different. So these such types of fractions are called as unlike fractions. So what are like fractions and unlike fractions? Like fractions are the fractions having same denominator, and unlike fractions are the fractions having different denominators. Next, equivalent fractions. What are equivalent fractions? The fractions which express the same value or the part of a whole but different names depending on the number of parts the whole is divided into are called equivalent fractions. Let me explain this with an example. See, this is same. This circle is same in these three pictures, right? It is of same size, same shape, right? The same picture. But if you see the portion of the shaded portion is also same. Here also half circle is shaded, here also half circle is shaded, here also half circle is shaded. But if I have to refer this shaded portion, see here my fraction is different, here the fraction is different, and here the fraction is different. Why so? Because even though we are referring to the same part of the whole, right? Only this half part of the whole we are referring in each case. But still, if you see the fractions which are used to refer this shaded portion, they are different. Why? Because the whole is different. Whole is divided differently in these three pictures. See, the whole is divided into 2 equal parts here. Here the whole is divided into 4 equal parts. Here the whole is divided into 8 equal parts. So depending on number of equal parts, the whole is divided into the fraction also differs. Even though they are referring to the same value, even though their value is same or they have same value, the names, they have different names. Different names in the sense, you can see the different fractions, right? So here whole is divided into 2 parts, so denominator is 2, and you are referring to one shaded portion, so 1 by 2 is a fraction. Here the whole is divided into 4 equal parts and you are referring to 2 parts, so 2 by 4 is a fraction. Here the whole is divided into 8 equal parts, out of which we are referring only 4 equal parts. So 4 by 8 is a fraction for this picture. If you see, these three fractions are referring to the same value, right? These three are same values. Such fractions are called as equivalent fractions, which express the same value of a part of whole but have different names. Such fractions we call them as equivalent fractions. How do we find out the equivalent fractions? To know 2 or more fractions are equivalent, we must simplify the given fraction. So if you simplify the given fraction, then you will be able to find the equivalent fraction of the given fraction. So here is an example, say 5 by 10. So you choose a number which divides both numerator and denominator. So here I am choosing 5 because this 5 divides both numerator and denominator. Both my numerator and denominator goes with 5, right? So 5 ones are 5 and 5 twos are 10. So 1 by 2. So 5 by 10 is equivalent to 1 by 2. So this is how I am going to get my equivalent fractions. So here is one more example. Reduce 20 by 25 to its lowest terms, or Find equivalent fractions of 20 by 25. So you will have to find out the equivalent fraction of 20 by 25. This is the fraction. So choose a number which can divide both numerator and denominator. Here I see that 5 can divide both numerator and denominator. So what I do is 20 divided by 5 and 25 divided by 5. Right? So that gives me 4 by 5, which is the lowest form or equivalent fraction of 20 by 25. So how do you find out the equivalent fraction, or if they are asking you to reduce the given fraction into lowest terms, what you will do? You will choose a number, you will find a number where it should divide both numerator and denominator. Choose a number such that it should divide both numerator and denominator. Right? After dividing the numerator and denominator, you would get the fraction which is equivalent to the given fraction, or the fraction in simplest form. What are the different operations which can be done on fractions? So addition, subtraction, division and multiplication. So these four are the operations, mathematical operations which can be done on fractions. And among these, in your grade 4, we have learnt only about addition and then subtraction, right? Yes. Adding fractions with same denominators. How do we add fractions with same denominator? Again, the fractions with same denominator means what? They are like fractions. So 2 by 4 is the fraction and 1 by 4 is the fraction which is referring to shaded portion. If I add these two fractions, I get 3 by 4. So how do I add two like fractions? Add the numerators. You add the numerators. 2 plus 1 gives you 3, and leave the denominator as it is. So you will be leaving the denominator as it is. So how do you add the fractions with same denominators or like fractions? You add the numerators and then leave the denominator as it is. So I am adding 2 plus 1 gives you 3, and I am leaving the denominator as it is, that is 4. How do you subtract fractions? Okay, so here is a fraction 4 by 6. So 4 parts out of 6 complete parts I am referring to, and 2 parts out of complete 6 parts I am referring to here. Okay, that gives you 1 by 2 by 6. How we can do subtraction here? I will tell you. Subtract the numerator and leave the denominator as it is. It is similar to addition. In addition, what we were doing? We were adding the numbers, adding the numerator and leaving the denominator as it is. As it is addition of like fractions. Here in subtraction of like fractions, subtract the numerators. Okay, 4 minus 2 gives you 2, and then leave the denominator as it is. See, the denominator as it is, I am keeping it as 6. That is equal to 1 by 3. Why it is 1 by 3? Because this is an equivalent fraction of 2 by 6 again. So divided by 2, it gives you 1 by 3, which is an equivalent fraction of 2 by 6. Okay, children, this is a small worksheet for you. Okay, you try doing these problems today. Okay, in this what you will be doing? Observe the following fractions and answer the given questions. See, these are the fractions given to you, and you will be answering these questions. What are the proper fractions here? What are the improper fractions here? Like fractions here, and then reduce 3 by 6 to its lowest term. So this is a small assignment. Try to complete this. I hope all of you found today's topic interesting, and I believe you were able to understand all that was discussed and explained. Children, importantly, I want all of you to revise on what was taught on today's session at least twice and do all the assignments given without failing. I look forward to see you in my next session and eager to bring you all interesting topics. Lots and lots of love wishes to you. For your health and safety from all of us at Icon School of Excellence. Happy learning. Thank you, children.